For my marquee story tonight, we have Whoopi Goldberg in The View. Now, most people who are actually interested in knowing stuff don't watch The View to know it. I mean, they may watch it to see who's dating who, you know, who's getting divorced, what new shows coming out, but they don't really watch it to like learn about politics or learn about the government or the world. That would be stupid. Because of the setup, the way that it's structured, the way this show is set up, it's not for critical thought. Whoopi Goldberg made some statements about Justice Democrats because Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is urging progressives, including Justice Democrats, to run for office, to make the Democratic Party a more progressive party.
Are you saying that other Democrats who've been fighting for 25, 30 years aren't Justice Democrats? You think that, I don't know, let's name a couple of people who've been fighting. John Conyers, who's not there anymore, and you know, yeah, I mean, you need the experience. You need experience to handle all this stuff. And if you don't have it, sit back and learn some stuff and then take over. But you can't come in and pee all over everything and say, it's done.
Justice Democrats. My understanding is Justice Democrats is about social justice, income equality. Justice is in the far of our elections and getting money out of politics. All these planks of their platform are things that pretty much I thought that liberals supported. But for some reason, Whoopi took offense to it as if it was saying, like, we the justice, you the injustice. But then when she went on to talk about Steny Hoyer, who obviously Whoopi doesn't know that Steny Hoyer is one of the most corrupt people in Congress. Like, he's the epitome of corporate establishment, like, layer. In fact, I did a story on him earlier this year where he told a new, like, running, a candidate who was running that he need not run because the decision about who's going to win the nomination has already been decided.
Levi, obviously I want to talk to you about this congressional race.
Absolutely, that's what I expected.
Yeah.
You would like me to get out of the race.
And you keep saying I would like you to get out. And of course that's correct.
Yeah. I know you're fundraising for Crow.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm for Crow. I am for Crow because a judgment was made very early on.
Your position is a decision was made, you know, very early on before voters had to say, that's fine because that's the DCCC knows better than the voters of the 6th Congressional District, and we should line up behind that candidate.
That's certainly the consequence of our decision.
Crow is the favorite, in no small part, Congressman Hoyer, because the DCCC not only put its finger on the scale, but started jumping on the scale very early on. And I'm born and raised a Democrat. I mean, it's undemocratic to have a small elite select someone and then try to rig the primary against the other people running. And that is basically what's been happening.
I hear you, and I disagree.
But you were part of that process
Absolutely.
as well. You said
absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
I've been at this a long time.
Yeah, you don't need to run in the Democratic Party unless we tell you to run because we pick who wins the primary. Therefore, we pick who becomes elected officials, not the people. That was Steny Hoyer, Whoopi. That's your people that you're saying that the Justice Democrats or any newcomers to politics need to learn from. People who have been around for a long time with a lot of money, made a lot of money, and are now basically protecting the structure and kicking newcomers out and telling them, this is not a democracy, this is a club. And like George Carlin said, it's a big club and you ain't in it. That's Steny Hoyer. And that's who you're saying the newcomers need to shut up and listen to. Doesn't make sense, right? Well, here goes clip number 2 where Whoopi goes on her thing about Justice Democrats.
Reportedly, some of the newly elected female Democrats are part of a so-called pink wave who are questioning whether Nancy Pelosi should be Speaker of the House. They say, you know, she's too old, she should step aside and let the new folks. So, okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the new folks, you also need to do your homework. Let's take it, for example, a Nancy Pelosi or a Dianne Feinstein. Two women battling and still at work. Right. Battling their male counterparts on both sides, okay? Nancy Pelosi got most of that Obama bill through. She fought
the Obamacare.
Obamacare. Right. She has been on the side of right for most of the time she's been in. The same with Dianne Feinstein, and the same with a whole bunch of these folks who have gotten older. You know what aged them? Fighting for the right to be an American 100%.
I'm glad she said that, because I want everybody to know Whoopi Goldberg and what her politics is. Marcia Fudge, a little bit younger than Nancy Pelosi, happens to be African American. See, Whoopi, she likes this idea of Americans, fighting for everybody to be Americans. Because Whoopi is one of those people who said a couple years ago that she didn't want you calling her black, she's American. Forgetting that beneath that natural, and if she didn't have her name be Whoopi Goldberg and she didn't have her money, wouldn't nobody be waiting on her or listening to what the hell she got to say? She'd be as disrespected and shoved to the corner as she wants Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein to do all the rest of us. See, Whoopi's way past the point where she has any understanding of what regular people go through. That's a faint memory. Whoopi Goldberg has been rich and famous for at least 30 years. That's what she has in common with Nancy Pelosi. That's what she has in common with Dianne Feinstein. In fact, I'll tell you this, Whoopi got more in common with Dianne Feinstein and Nancy Pelosi than she does Tim Black, than she does Marcia Fudge, than she does a lot of regular black folks trying to make things happen, who are tired of the Democratic Party taking our votes and not giving us anything forward, taking our votes and telling us just wait, taking our votes and saying calm down, it's gonna happen, taking our votes and saying you need to always give us your votes. If you don't give us your votes, then you are not patriotic. Taking our votes, taking our votes, taking our votes and giving us a shaft. And Whoopi Goldberg think that's okay. This is not about ageism. This is about corruptism. This is about sitting on your ass-ism. This is about disenfranchisism. And that's what we've been in the Democratic Party.
Guard.
Yeah.
Who have not been fighting for the justice. They've been paying money, you know, getting money for the big. It's like, who are you talking about?
Well, she's tough too. I mean, you need somebody tough like her. She's not afraid of the rain like some people.
She knows how to raise money. She knows how to rally.
She'll go out in the rain and
I'm just saying, I don't mind a healthy fight, but don't make it about because you're old, you can't.
There's the biggest lie that she said all night. You don't want a healthy fight. If you wanted a healthy fight, that would mean you would sit down and you would actually look at what's happened under Nancy Pelosi. She has one piece of legislation that matters. That was the Obamacare, which ain't nothing but Romney care. That's the only thing really that she passed in so long. She's wrong with so many issues. She doesn't support so many of the issues that matter to us. Okay, so here's a list of the bills that most progressives and the Justice Democrats support that Nancy Pelosi does not support. Healthcare, H.R. 676, Medicare for All. Voting rights, H.R. 2840, Restore Voting Rights Act. Wall Street, H.R. 1144, Inclusive Prosperity. College tuition, H.R. 1880, College for All. Women's rights, H.R. 771, Women's Health. Criminal justice, H.R. 3227, Justice is not for sale. Climate change, H.R. 2242, Keep it in the ground. See, this is where the party needs to go. And if you don't go there and give that to poor people, disenfranchised people, black people, all the people who want it, well, then you got nothing to offer us, Whoopi. And if that's the case, there ain't no damn reason to vote Democrat or be Democrats. That's why I'm not a Democrat now. We know why you're a Democrat, because they make sure your pockets stay fat. And then you get to go to those fancy parties and forget, once again, that you are African American and that the rest of your people are living, 40% of them are living beneath the poverty line. And that's a lot of times in democratic cities in Democratic states all across this country. Now, you address that, Whoopi Goldberg, then we'll have something to talk about. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this video. Do you think Whoopi Goldberg is right? Or do you think maybe she needs to pull her head out of her ass? Let me know in the comments section. And if you like this content, don't forget, subscribe and follow me on Twitter at RealTimBlack, Facebook as Real Tim Black, and Instagram as Tim Black at Night.